Hi, it's Steph, and today we're in our front yard where we're going to plant two new spring blooming trees. We took down a thundercloud plum cherry tree about a couple weeks ago, right in that area down there. And to replace it, we're going to plant two new trees. This is a Soulangeana, Magnolia, and a Yoshino cherry tree. I've been after one of these magnolias for a couple of years now. They are beautiful. They're an old-fashioned tulip type magnolia with a cream color and a pink outline. They're really pretty. And I wanted a multi-stem, and I found one recently for a really reasonable price. So I picked that up. I also found a Yoshino cherry tree on a recent trip to Lowe's. And so we're gonna work on getting those planted today. So we took down the tree. I have some footage, which I'll insert. We also had to patch up that hole with some grass. So we lifted some sod from a different area of our yard and we patched up the hole. And so now we're gonna go ahead and find two new spots to place these in our front yard. Today's garden job was to remove this tree. This is a purple thundercloud plum tree, and over the last couple of years it just wasn't a healthy tree. It never rooted itself right. Even when we tried to stake it, the wind was so strong in this area, you can actually probably hear it, that the tree was always crooked, and it really bothered me, and so it just wasn't making me happy anymore. So we removed it, and now we're working on patching up the grass in this area. So we're gonna remove some sod in our Japanese garden area that we have to lift anyway, and we're gonna repurpose it to patch this up. This is our Japanese garden area, and so we're gonna have a path here. We're just using this sod to replace the other grass that we took out, or that is needed to fill in the hole where the tree was. So it's literally a puzzle. You just kind of place the pieces until it fits, and you just kind of stomp on it to make it level. But this is a good option if you do have grass in an area of your yard that you're going to remove to plant a tree or whatever. You can always use these chunks of grass to patch a hole up.
If you have another project going on.
Yeah, if you have another project going on. I mean, obviously if you don't, then it would be hard. You don't want to be ripping chunks of grass from other places in your yard if you don't have to. But this sort of just works out for us, and it's going to be a little easier than growing grass seed. I'm watering the patch that we made yesterday with the chunks of sod from our Japanese garden. And look, you can barely even tell where it was. You got to keep it nice and watered to make sure that the grass takes and doesn't die off on you before it has a chance to root. Here's where we place the trees just to kind of see how we feel about them. Here's the Magnolia and there's the Yoshino cherry, and we're just trying to make sure that they're slightly offset so that you can see both of them when you drive by. So one doesn't block the other. And also that big Colorado blue spruce, it was supposed to be a dwarf, but it isn't, and eventually it will have to get taken down. So we planted a fire glow Japanese maple that will eventually take up that corner once that tree becomes too big for the space, which, I mean, it's almost there. But I think that this is going to be more or less the spot where we're going to place these two trees here. Here's the spot for the tree that we took down. You can see that the grass that we patched up is already filling in really nicely. We've been watering it regularly. But because the roots for that tree are still here in this area, it would make it difficult to plant there. So we've just started moving over this way, and I feel like it'll be nicer closer to the house to kind of frame the house in. Now that our hole is dug, we're going to take some of this black cow compost and mix it in with the native soil that we took out of the hole. And you can see that we made the hole double the size of the root ball and level with the root ball. And now we're just going to build up the soil a little bit around it with the mix of the compost and the native soil. This is good topsoil, and it's nice and loose now, so the roots should be able to spread out nicely. One down, one to go. So next up is the Yoshino cherry tree. The inspiration for this tree was actually the thumbnail of this video, which happens to be our neighbor across the street. They have one of these trees and it's absolutely beautiful. And every spring when I see it in bloom, I love it. And so when we found one at Lowe's for a really good price, I'll show you the tag. Here it is. It's a Yoshino flowering cherry, and it was $59.98. It's actually pretty good size. It has a lot of vertical growth, and it had a nice enough canopy, so I brought it home. Yeah, I think that looks good actually.
I don't like
the
this.
top stick is crooked, but
What do you want to do with this?
I almost thought that was the back of the tree. I assumed that was the back.
All right, I'm gonna spin it. You tell me where you feel it's good.
Keep going, keep going. Like, keep going. Like right there.
All right, now see this?
Yeah.
Doesn't this look wonky?
Yeah, a little bit. But the top looks good.
So does this look level though?
It looks pretty level.
That doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a bow in it.
The trunk has a bow to it. I mean, I don't know if there's anything we can do about that.
Or we can just pack it in and keep it straight.
Or maybe we could stick a bamboo
To keep it going straight.
and try to
Should I go
bamboo
get
straight. Well, it bends.
Should I go get one in my shed, in my thing, in the green string?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're going to make a bold move here. We want to make sure, because this area of the yard gets a ton of wind, like a ton, we're going to try to carefully insert this bamboo along the trunk. And we have this stretchy green tape that we use with our Japanese maples when we're training them. We're going to try to secure this bamboo stick along the stem to hopefully keep it growing straight. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the trunk's pliable right now.
It's a fairly young tree, so this might be a good opportunity. We just have to be super careful inserting it to not, damage the roots too badly.
All right. So just start right here.
This tape actually works really well because it's stretchy, so as the tree expands, it won't cut into the trunk of the tree. It's very stretchy. You think it's good enough in there?
I guess.
Okay, we're gonna make a decision right now. George and I just looked at the tree, and while it's still pliable and we have the bamboo up here, we're going to make this center branch the central leader of this tree, so that hopefully it continues to grow upward, and this sideways shoots will end up branching outward, and there'll be a central leader. While George is wrapping up the tree planting, I figured that I would give you guys a little tulip update. This is the tulips in the front yard, and I don't know when I'll get around to doing another garden tour, so I wanted to catch a couple of clips of them while they look beautiful. Here in the backyard, I have this shrub. It's called a Magnolia Ann. It's a different variety from the one I just planted. This one is more of a shrub type. It gets about 8 to 10 feet tall and wide. And the Magnolia in the front, the Soulangeana, that one is a tree. So it's going to get 25 to 30 feet. Well, I think that this bamboo is going to work out really well, and we got both trees planted just before the sun's about to go down, so I'm really happy about that. If you recall on the 2022 garden plans video that we had, we talked about taking down that thundercloud tree and planting some things in its place. So this is another project we can check off the list. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.